In this video, I want to give you an update of how I'm actually sending my DVDs and my video games and other media type items such as CDs. Now, I originally did a video on this of how I'm sending them, and it's changed since then. When I first started, that's how I was doing it. Now I've slightly adjusted and I've gotten into a better routine of what works for me. And this should be able to help you save a few dollars, but also give you a peace of mind when sending your DVDs. So the challenge that we predominantly always have when sending DVDs or media items is sending it cheap, keeping it well packaged or well protected, and thirdly, can it be tracked and the pros and cons of not doing that. So to answer this, basically what I'm doing at this point is anything that is under $25, I am sending untracked. I changed my process, I'm now sending it untracked, and that's just with padded mailers using stamps. And the reason why I've done this is essentially for these reasons. 1, it's cheaper, it saves me money. 2, I feel it's actually more protected. And 3, the buyer had the opportunity to select tracked versus untracked. And because it's only under $25, most of the time they're not too concerned, and most of the time they're not likely to go to the ends of trouble in making your life miserable and saying that the item never arrived. However, I still have a place and time for those medium tracked envelopes that I have been using over the last year or so. But at the same time, I also have a case for when I need to use a box as well. And that's what I'm going to go through today. And at the time of this video, I want to share with you how many DVDs that I've sent using tracked versus untracked, and then how many video games I've sent tracked versus untracked. And you can see how much I've been able to save from doing both of that and doing the switch. So let's dive into it.
All right, so you've sold a DVD, and let's say it's A Passage to India. This is just a standard DVD, probably $9. I'm just using this for an example, but essentially there's two ways you can do this. As I discussed, you can send it untracked or tracked. Because this is under $25, I'm going to be sending this one untracked, but I'm going to show you both anyway. So when it comes to sending any type of DVD, regardless, what I like to do is get it, open it up. If there's discs, is grab one of these little noodles. Now I pick these up, actually, I've never paid for one. I get these from either shops that are getting rid of stuff, or my local post, or I have someone else that also gets them for me. But if you can get these, chuck it in here and it stops the CD from rattling. So that's a quick little win for you. Next thing I'm gonna do is I use these plastic sleeves. Now you don't have to do this. This is what I do, because if you're sending in an envelope or a padded bag, you want to avoid it getting water damage. So I just slip that down here. I'm not going to actually seal this just for the purposes of this video. Slip it in here. It's just got an adhesive just there. Peel that off, put it over there, and boom. Now what I actually also do is I add my business card into this as well. So usually I'll pick up this bad boy, chuck him in here, seal that, and we're good to go. So that's a DVD, we're good to go. Now, as I said, there's two options here. You've got the tracking, which you can do over here. Just so no one uses my code, but you've got your tracking here, which you can use. Obviously putting name, address here, and then you can put where it's from here. And you've got the little token, you've got the little ID that you can take off here as well. But first, I'm going to show you how to use these ones. Now, these are PM Padded Mailers 1. Basically, I'll put the pricing up there on the side, but if you buy them in bulk, you can get them a lot cheaper. People do use ones off eBay, which is fine. But essentially, you can send anything up to a certain amount of grams in this bad boy just using stamps. So what I like to do is you put obviously name and address here. You can print this out if you want. I've got from, just name and address. Once again, you can print this out if you want. Depending how many you're sending, it might just be quicker to just write it out. Now, once you've done this, what you want to do, once it's sealed up, is you're going to slip this bad boy straight down here. Just like this. Give it a little push, too easy. Unseal this, and you're going to put it straight up. Now, what I like to do is leave it so it's not over the top here, because sometimes it can be just too thick to fit through what you need it to fit through. I just slip it there, and what I actually do is I just tape around that. Just, big long piece of tape straight around. Of course, then you've got all your details here. You put your stamps. Now, if it is up to 125 grams or 124 grams, you can put this at 2 stamps. Anything above 125 has to be 3 stamps. So put your 3 stamps here or your 2 stamps here, and you're good to rock and roll. Now, the alternative is same thing. If you're using one of these, all you're going to do is slip it on here. And this is why it's actually even more important to have one of these plastic sleeves, because it avoids water damage. Put it in here. There isn't really any protection, but that does make it feel like that the buyer is getting a premium service. Goes in there, and that will fit quite well. No problem there. Obviously, there's not as much protection, but these do not go through the normal packaging delivery process that all the other packages do. They would go separate. they use a different logistics supply chain process for that. So that's what I've been told anyway. So that's how I send my DVDs. Of course, you can use a box. If I'm sending a bundle, I would put them in a box, whether it's a small, medium, large, depending how many people are purchasing, and I would just bubble wrap them, and I wouldn't sleeve them all individually. I would just bubble wrap them. I would still put the little noodle in there just to avoid it from getting any damage, but that is essentially how you do it. So jump down into the description below and see where I'm getting these items from as well if you want to get some yourself. I like to purchase these from my local post office just because I know them. I like to support them. They've become really good colleagues of my business. So I purchase all my goodies from them because I feel like they deserve it and they help me out. So you can purchase these online. You can get alternatives, which are probably going to save you. But really, I mean, you're talking about 20, 30 cents. In the long run, I do end up saving by sending this than sending it tracked. The tracked ones, these bad boys, these cost about $5 a pop. You can see the exact pricing on screen. And sending this basically saves me about half the amount. So if you're sending 100 DVDs and you're profiting $5, well, obviously if you're using these at your own cost, you're going to be getting into margins pretty quick. So something to really consider. And I hope that has been helpful. If you've got any questions, anything like that, do let me know. More than happy to answer. I do this for CDs, for DVDs, for video games. Of course, video games will be a bit heavier because they've got manuals and things inside them. Take that into account. And yeah, too easy.
So I hope that's helped. Do let me know if you've got any questions or any comments. Of course, everyone does this differently, and I could have missed something, but hopefully that gives you a detailed analysis of what I am doing, and maybe it's going to help you save some dollars. Of course, you don't have to do everything exactly the same. You can adjust it. You can spice it up. You can do the way you like to do it, but this has been working for me, and since doing it, it's been able to save me quite a few dollars. Now, when you think about it, if you're doing 100 DVDs a month and you're saving $2.50, that's $250 back into your pocket, and that's really what it's all about. Now, there is two options here. Actually, there's probably three. You can either send it untracked in a letter or a padded mailer, which is usually actually pretty protected, or you can send it in a prepaid medium envelope tracked, which is around $5, and it doesn't really have that much packaging. Of course, you can send it in a box, which isn't actually going to work too well because it's going to dig into your margins very quickly. Boxes are perfect if you're sending more than 2 or 3 DVDs at a price value over $30. Appreciate you being here. If you've got any questions, any thoughts, any comments, do let me know. Of course, this is my process. It might not work for you. Maybe you're doing something different, or if you've got a better way of doing things, I'm more than happy to hear too. This is just what's working for me at this point in time. I'll probably change again. Anyway, appreciate you being here. As I said, any questions, do let me know. If you did enjoy this video, do like it. And of course, if you're new here and you haven't seen these videos before and you have enjoyed it, I do 3 videos a week of a few different things. Hit the subscription button. Let's continue the conversation down in the comments, and you have a wonderful day. Cheers.